Shalom. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Kiam. And this is your brother Abawan, back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, all praises and glory is due, especially in the times that we're in right now. And this is me just doing a quick response to a clip that was shown in this video right here, which is how feminism destroyed the nuclear family from the Dumper channel, and that's the channel name, the Dumper. Okay, so yeah, how feminism destroyed the black community. It's like not the black community, but even if the nuclear family, because even when I'm saying the nuclear family, I'm just saying the so-called, I'm just saying Jake, because that was who was initially targeted with this right here. So what I'm about to show you, right, or what I want to show you is a clip from the movie Claudine. Okay, James Earl Jones. Okay, but this is a movie from this is a clip from the movie Claudine. Okay, but just like the channel said, just like the channel, the title of the video says, okay, that feminism did destroy the nuclear family. But let's not forget that the whole feminist system, right, is being set up and controlled by Esau Edom, the so-called red man. Okay, realistically, it's Esau that destroyed the nuclear family using feminism. Okay, because without Esau, these women out there would not be able to maintain their feminist system and their feminist ideology, because feminism is actively being subsidized by Esau, right? The system that Esau Edom set up, and it is being used for the sole purpose of doing exactly this: destroying the nuclear family, destroying the family system, and realistically just messing up the order that was set up by the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai. So let's get that first. That should be Ephesians, and I've already done this video before, but for some strange reason the video didn't save, so we're just going to have to go into it again. Ephesians 5 verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto Yahweh. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the whole body. Right, and that's, like I said, the order that the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai set up. That order being the man is above the woman, alright? The same way our Lord Yahweh is above everybody overall. So that is the order that was set up by the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahwashai. But Esau Edom, using feminism, undermined that order, which is why you also had, and that's basically what they are going to show in this clip right here. Okay, where you had the Man in the House Act, right, or the Man in the House Bill, where basically, if there was a man in the house, you couldn't get the welfare benefits, so your food stamps, your SNAP, and so on and so forth. So let me also get this as well. I want to actually go and bring this out because I actually did that in the previous video. So just do it right now again. The Man in the House Act, which I remember that the Apostle Taha was actually going into this. Where you had a Man in the House Act, where basically, if there was a man in the house, whether he was the husband or an unrelated person, you could not get, the household could not get those food stamps, those benefits from the government, government assistance, basically. So this is the AI overview right here. So I'll just start it up. The term Man in the House Act typically refers to the Man in the House rule, a discriminatory welfare policy that denied benefits to families, particularly mothers and children, if an unrelated, able-bodied man was present in the household, regardless of whether he contributed financially. So basically that's what happened right there, and that's what was also being shown in the clip as well. The Man in the House law, or rule or act or bill. And the Apostle Paul was even going into this, man, and I'll never forget it. Where he was talking about how he was a child when he actually saw this being implemented, where the woman would basically have to hide their husbands, right, in order to get that welfare, those food stamp benefits, and so on and so forth. So that's basically what this represents right here. Right, right. That's basically what this represents right here. So let me go back to this and just play this clip, right? Because there are so many other things I wanted to say, but it's best to just play this clip just to show you what I'm just to show you what I'm talking about, okay? And this is how it's and this is like I said, man, these are the tactics that Esau used to destroy the nuclear family, okay? Because now, right, the idea of single motherhood, and it's funny how that works, because Esau would empower, make the idea of single motherhood empowering, that you are a strong and independent woman, you are a single mother, you are doing it all by yourself, you are doing it all on your own, you are so strong, and so on and so forth, right? But you notice how the face of single mothers are always Israelite women, even though, right, these Edomites right out here are just as heavily, basically, what term do I want to use now? Are just as much of single mothers as the nigger woman is, man. Because I remember the Tom Liker show. If you actually know the guy, that was like the early 90s to, I think it's like the late 90s to early 2000s. I remember watching the Tom Liker show. So I was watching some clips of the Tom Liker show, and you had a lot of these Edomites, or at least Edomite sounding women that were single mothers calling in all the way back then, right? So that shows you that this single motherhood is an issue, not just among Jake, but even among Esau, Edom as well, right? But when it's time to show single motherhood, and when it's time to talk about single motherhood, they are focused, right? The camera is always on Jake. So let's see. Let's play the clip.
All that stuff.
Mom, the social worker's here. Oh shit.
And I'll also say this as well, because I forget, that's basically the copyright. I'll give the copyright disclaimer, okay? Because how Esau gets with these videos, man. And in accordance with I believe that's the 1975 copyrights, right? The 1976 Copyright Act. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might be otherwise infringing. So this video is in accordance with the Copyright Act of 1976. I'm not making any money or profit from this video, and it is being made for educational purposes only. So you see how they are hiding various items in the house, right? Because basically, basically the food stamps and the benefits are based on income. So how much you make, and also, like we just read in the Man in the House Act, right? Like I was saying, like we just read in the Man in the House Act, that if a man was in the house and providing, he didn't even need to be in the house, man. If he was providing for the house, regardless of how much he was providing, you would not be able to qualify for the food stamps, which is why they are hiding different things in the house, man. Let's keep playing the video.
How are you, Miss Kavak?
Fine. How are you, Mrs. Price?
Oh, just fine. But You know, they haven't sent me the authorization to buy the food stamps for the past 6 months, and then they cut me off a non-purchase. Now, Miss K-Back, why do they keep messing with me all the time? The system's one big screw-up. Well, I'm glad to hear you say it, because no one... So you're the gentleman that's been keeping company here.
And that's the... And I see that the man also had to be hiding himself, right? Because like the man in the house act said, if there was a man in the house, you are not getting those food stamps. You're not getting those the food stamps, the welfare benefits, okay? And now the reason why you even needed a the welfare benefits, even though you had even though you basically had a man that was earning and making money, is because Esau's system, and and you see that even currently, where Esau doesn't want to pay people their proper wages, right? You don't want to pay somebody the proper wages for their labor. And I believe the scriptures say that you have to pay a man daily, right? Because you don't know how, I forgot how that precept goes. Let me just quickly look for it's like, yeah. Let me just quickly look for that, right? That's what Esau does, man. He doesn't want to pay anybody their proper wages. So that should be I've forgotten how that precept goes. I'm just trying to see if I remember that. Let's see. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 24, verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates. Right? Thou shalt not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy. But later, you have Jake that will say that, oh, the Bible is the white man's book, right? And that the Bible promotes slavery. But even in the scriptures, it tells you to give every servant, a hired servant, which is basically a slave, their wages, right? But let's keep going into it. Deuteronomy 24, verse 15. At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin unto thee. Right? So Esau was not doing that, okay? He wasn't giving people their rightful wages for their labor, right? Which is why you still had you had these families that still had to apply for food stamp, for snaps, and these other forms of welfare, because Esau wasn't paying proper wages. This devil is still using, by the way, but I don't want to say that's beside the point. That's still a relevant matter, which is why you have more people now, applying for food stamps, applying for all these different forms of welfare, okay? And it's funny because Esau has basically taken all that away. So there's no more food stamps, no more welfare, or at least, they're in the process of trying to restrict or even straight up just take away these benefits from the people, right? So at the end of the day, that's how that ended up, okay? And this movie right here, Claudine, that's the name of the movie. Okay, this movie was made in like 1975, which is a decade or so after the civil rights movement. Okay, so you still had issues getting a job as an Israelite man in America, Babylon the Great, where you would write your employment letter or application letter, and the reply would basically come back, sorry, we're not hiring niggers, right? That's basically what you would see in the reply. So it was difficult for an Israelite man to even get the job. And even when they do get the job, it was even difficult for them to keep the job. That's why you have the term last hired, first fired. Okay, continuing the clip.
Oh, no, man, I'm just a garbage man.
Oh, well, may I have your name, please?
Simpson.
First name?
That's my first name.
Oh, your surname?
X.
Simpson X what?
Simpson X, that's it. You've heard of Malcolm X, I'm Simpson X. Hey, say, listen, I want to ask you something. You're supposed to give aid to dependent children, right? Well, why don't you just go ahead and give aid to the dependent children instead of worrying about who the mother's keeping company with?
Oh, let me straighten you out on something, Mr. X. There was a time we'd ask to use a bathroom to see if there was a razor in the cabinet. We don't do that anymore, but we do have to know what's going on. Do you live here or elsewhere? Is that a gift you're giving to the family? Do you contribute to the support of this whole family?
Whoa, lady. You gonna tell us you can have this set? It didn't cost you in the city a damn dime, but you gonna tell us you can have it, right?
Oh, I didn't make the rules, sir. I'm only doing my job.
The welfare ain't doing nothing for me, lady.
And that's why she has to ask all these questions, because that's basically the requirements in order to get the welfare, right? The man can't be in the house. The man can't be contributing to the house, because that's the reason. Like, even this, that's why. Hey, that's how you. This is what caused the destruction of the nuclear family, right? Because you have this stat that a lot of these manosphere red pill types I like to throw out about how black men, right, so-called black men, which is basically Jake, are the most involved fathers in their children's life. But the thing is that a lot of those fathers don't live in the house with their children, right? Because they are either divorced or separated from the mother, and basically the mother is acting as a single mother raising that child, but the man is still the man is still supporting the child through the support system that was set up to support the child. If you know, right? The man is still contributing to the child's education, contributing to the child's feeding and so on and so forth, right? But that's how you know that that the nigga woman is completely through, man. This is why the apostle Taha said that you brothers in Babylon shouldn't even be dealing with the nigga woman, man, because as the scriptures say. Let's get that. That should be Isaiah the 3rd chapter. And there was something else I wanted to say, but I've forgotten, and I lost my train of thought on it. I said it in the previous video about this whole topic right here, concerning like the apostle Taha said, man, that you shouldn't be dealing with these hyenas and dealing with these with the nigga woman. You should go and deal with other tribes, or the women of other basically other tribes, right? Or women of other nations that are Israel, not other nations, but women that are the scattered Israelites, get you one of those wholesale Edomites that are actually Jake. Basically, that's what he was saying. Right. So this is the book of Isaiah 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Right. And the children, of course, is referring to Esau, Edom, the so-called red man. And women being their oppressors, because Esau has empowered women far above the man in this kingdom, which is going against the order that was set up by the Most High Yahweh Sham Yahushai, right? And because Esau, because Esau has basically done everything he can in this kingdom to give the woman power over the man, to empower the woman above the man. That's why you have all these organizations and these NGOs and these different drives and charities and so on and so forth to empower women. Whether it's getting women into STEM, getting more women into the workforce, the whole thing with birth control and so on and so forth. Even the Roe v. Wade abortion laws. All these things were set up to empower the women and give them more power and authority in this kingdom over the man, right? Which is why in this kingdom, look, man, that's why I don't know. It's not really. That's why this kingdom is basically considered a matriarchal kingdom, because it is the woman that have been given power in this kingdom above the men. Okay, but let's keep playing this. I'll go back to this. And let me just check that I finished reading that precept. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to this.
But the welfare is supporting Mrs. Price. Supporting shit. He gave me this. He gave me this. Yes, he gave it to me. Then he gave me this. Now we have to hide this shit. You believe? Yes, he gave me this. We have to hide this.
He gave us this too, but it don't work.
That's right. Now I have to hide my man in the toilet. Miss Quebec, do you hide your man in the toilet? Mrs. Price, we want to help, believe me. We know that children need a man in the house, a woman needs a man in the house. We don't insist people be married.
You mean you'd help a man move in when he's not married to the mother?
That's right.
That's immoral.
We're trying to deal with the realities.
Right, and that's basically how Esau set this thing up, man. This is how you know you are being ruled over by the devil, right? Where Esau sets up all these policies in order to destroy, in order to, as the scriptures say, this is what the devil does, man. Steal, kill, destroy. All the laws, right, that Esau Edom sets up, all the systems that Esau Edom sets up, the technology, everything that Esau does is for the purpose of death and destruction and crisis, right? That's why the scriptures say, and the devil comes but to steal and to kill and to destroy. Alright, let's get that precept. So this is the book of John 10 verse 10. The thieves, like I meant to say the thief, but you know who the thief is referring to here in the scriptures, okay? That also goes into the book of Zechariah, the 5th chapter, that it shall destroy all those that steal it on this side, right? And we know who the one that is stealing is, right? John 10 verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly, right? And this is what Esau did right here. Basically, he removed the man from the house, right, in order to replace the man in the house. So now, a lot of you women, the government is your man, man. That's basically what you have going on right now. The government is your husband, which is why you have this idea of a no fault before divorce, Title 4D, and the support of the child, which is basically all illegal, according to the US Constitution, right? All those things are basically illegal. You know, child support, which is Title 4D, the no fault divorce thing, which basically if a woman, you know, declares for or requests a divorce, right? She doesn't have to give any reason, whether infidelity or abuse or anything else. You can just easily divorce based on irreconcilable differences, right? And that's why you see so many women divorcing their husbands for no reason. Case in point, Ricardo Kaká. You know, he's a very popular Brazilian player, and basically the reason why basically his wife divorced him, right? And the reason his wife gave for the divorce is that he was too perfect, you know. And this dude isn't an American or anything like that. He's a Brazilian, or he's Jake, of course, right? But he's a Brazilian, right? All the way in Ashar. I think that's all the way in Brazil, right? Which shows you how far the influence of America, Babylon the Great, has gone, because that's the main export of the Babylon, man. All these wicked ass policies. This place, that's why Babylon needs to go, man. Babylon needs to go because the wickedness that goes on on a day by day basis in America, Babylon, is just ridiculous, man. And these are the kind of things that happen, right? Like I said, let's get that precept. This is what happens as a result of Esau being in rulership, because first and foremost, there isn't even any need for this level of welfare, right? If Esau was ruling justly, but because he is not, now you need the welfare. And even on top of the welfare, Esau is still pushing wickedness on top of it again, removing the man from the house, which basically completely destroys the family and destroys the order that was set up by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because Esau wants to be the one to replace that man in the house so he can take ownership of the children and the woman as well. Proverbs 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And as the scriptures say, man, the whole earth mourneth and languisheth because of Esau and his wicked, corrupt, evil, demonic, devilish rulership. And that's what you have in this kingdom right now. The man has been removed from the family, and the family system has completely eroded because of it, because now you have the woman being in charge of the household, right? Or rather, I should say you have Esau Edom, the government, being in charge of the household, and Esau put the woman up there as just the basically the placeholder, the puppet ruler. But really it's the government that is in charge. And now that the government has gotten exactly what is wanted, which is basically to completely destroy the nuclear family, they are now beginning to take away and roll back on the rights that they initially gave to you women. So all those rights, we saw it then Roe v. Wade being taken away, right? The and the welfare as well is looking like that one is going to be taken away as well. The DEI, that was basically the drive that were bring more women into the workforce, so that they can actually support their whole single mother independent women lifestyle, with the feminism. That is going away as well, right? And the reason why is because these systems are no longer needed. The family has been destroyed beyond repair, right? The relationship between men and women in this kingdom, the order that was set up by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for all men and women as well, is destroyed, and destroyed beyond repair, right? This kingdom is through, man. This kingdom is through. Alright, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is going to bring this place down. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, Wa of Bad Babal, and through the spirits of Yakim, and you are quite edified. Shalom.